I am going to assume that Sevi probably doesn't like me too much due to the fact that I know she was good friends with Atsu. And I mean, I would hope that people get that I was merely defending myself in that situation. I mean, Atsu really f***ed my PR in this space, and a lot of people don't want to look into the deep intricacies of how, and I mean this genuinely, how much of a victim I was of that dude. I mean, that guy completely ruined my life for like a year and a half. But that being said, I am curious. I check in on Sevi from time to time. I think she's a great content creator, and I also think she's a great person. Apparently, her life has completely changed in 5 months. I just wanted to see what she was talking about. So let's see here.
Hey everyone, it's Sevi. Welcome
She's good friends with Brax? Well, that's great because Brax is one of the best people that I know.
to my guide on how to beat floor 11 and 12 of the 5.0 Abyss cycle. This time we're getting a bunch of new Natlan
Damn, this shit is
enemies,
like a
including
movie.
some local legends and bosses. As usual, this video discusses strategies and tips to help you beat the chambers more easily. I'll just flash some very general reminders before you tackle Spiral Abyss, which you can pause to take a quick read. This Abyss Blessing gives 40% normal attack and skill damage
Oh! Oh! Oh!
Have you ever had a moment where you thought, I don't feel like myself?
You're not you when
And
you play
has
Genshin.
it ever been followed by,
Babe, this isn't like you.
I haven't felt like myself in a while? That thought crept up to me, making itself known little by little until I couldn't ignore it any longer.
Sevi, I know exactly what you're talking about. And if you're watching this, I want to let you know there is hope. There is salvation. I would wake up every day feeling like a shell of a man. Every single fucking day. I never felt like I fit in. I never felt like anybody wanted to fucking watch my content. I never felt like anybody fucking cared. But then I realized I'm not me when I'm thirsty. And then I drank Tectone's Happy Juice at gamersubs.gg and I used code BALDY for 10% off. And ever since then, life's been on the up and up. No, but for real though, I've been there. But for real though, I've been there. I've been there.
And once I acknowledged it, there was no going back. How did we get here? 2 reasons. The first is a topic I've brought up many times. Burnout.
Yep.
I've always had a passion for creation. Music, theater, writing, art, makeup, and eventually video. So when Sevi plays to cough, it felt like winning the lottery.
Love that.
But burnout is a wicked thing. It became the growing monster in the back of my head that, bit by bit, peeled away the joy of creating. I've talked about it a lot last year, especially because its intensity was at an all-time high. And it was a huge reason why I needed to take time offline and off content creation. The second reason, however, is one that I've always been private about. I was never in this alone.
What does that mean?
When Genshin Impact came out, my boyfriend was the one who invited me to try it. All it took was one look at Zhongli and I was sold.
Right.
But more importantly, he's the one who suggested that I try streaming and making YouTube videos.
Okay. I
With
want to
his
let this.
push,
I would usually be talking a bit more, but I know there's a serious video, so I'm trying to let it cook. I've already made one joke that I already deemed as insensitive. So I don't want to be a dickhead the whole video. But I want to let this cook before I weigh in. I actually have a lot of shit to say, so just stay till the end of the video. I want to really let this cook for a little bit.
And Sevi Plays came to life.
Yep.
At this point, we had already been in a relationship for 3 years. Then we spent the next 3 years as romantic partners and co-workers.
Mistake. And I mean that genuinely, it's a fucking mistake. Never go into business with your friends. Just don't do it. And even more so, don't go into business with your partners. It adds so much extra layers of pressure, anxiety. You can't have any escape. I mean, good God, I was in a relationship with a woman where if I were to ask for a cup of water while I was streaming, as I streamed for 8 hours and I was the only income in my fucking house and I just needed a fucking drink, the bitterness and resentment built up so much where I was getting torn apart by them and my fucking chat just for asking a cup of water. I will never be with someone in the fucking streaming space ever again. They did shit casually for fun, sure. But a full-time streamer? Hell nah. Or with anybody so insecure where when they see their partner succeeding, it drives them insane.
I often referred to him as my editor since that was his main contribution to the channel, but
Never have your partner be your editor. Because they're gonna sit there and they're gonna think, oh man, look, all he's doing is playing video games. I can do that. And they're gonna get bitter as fuck. Never do that.
he did more than that. He worked with me on the scripts and game
Oh, God.
footage, handled tech and security issues, etc.
Oh God.
And he also pushed me to become a better gamer and content creator.
I'm so worried this doesn't have a happy ending.
Together, we played out this new dream of online success in the gaming space through helping players with builds and Spiral Abyss. He worked with me on the channel from the start, but when Sevi Plays started rapidly growing, he decided that he wanted to remain behind the scenes. I respected that and saw the benefits to keeping that part of our lives private.
Good.
So,
Smart
in
decision.
recent years, you'd rarely hear me mention a boyfriend or romantic partner.
Sure. Smart decision. Great decision.
Things weren't
Listen. I will be very upfront. I'm not single, right? I'm not. But it's none of the internet business on who I'm dating. It don't fucking matter. Everybody thinks I'm dating one person, and they got no fucking idea. And that's what's hilarious. Because I'm dating your mother.
perfect.
Sorry.
But for a while, it worked. Until it didn't. And so, like many things, our partnership came to an end. Both in work and in life.
Yep.
Now, it's just me. When I announced that I'd be taking a break from content, it wasn't because I had decided right then and there that I was going to go on a vacation. It was because I couldn't, at that moment, physically continue working.
I remember this video. It was a great video.
So, I did the first thing people do in movies after a devastating breakup. I stayed with my parents for a bit. I feel incredibly lucky to say that when I needed them most, they gave me a home to rest in and made sure
That must be so nice because if I ever needed to go stay with my parent, oh God, he's so fucking annoying. I'm not gonna lie, bro. My dad's ass is so fucking annoying. It's crazy. Bro, just like, goddamn, like it's always gotta be his way. He's always right. I'm always wrong. Like, listen here, Sonny, you may have been educated for 4 years, but I'm 85 years old, which makes me the fucking man. Like, shut the fuck up, bro. Shut the fuck up, old man. Love my dad to bits. But goddamn, just shut the fuck up. Like father, like son, fuck you.
sure I was fed and sheltered for the first several days after my breakup.
W family.
Even then, it sucked. The collaborative dynamic that had kept the channel running for 3.5 years had fallen apart. My mental health and self-esteem were in shambles, and I was alone for the first time in so fucking long.
And that's really fucking hard. It is. I'm a guy where I love being in relationships. I love having people. I love having friends around me at all times. I love being able to, help these people. And because, I'm not really a guy who does shit for myself. I like doing shit for the people. So this is a lot harder than people might make it seem out to be. They're like, oh, boo-hoo, you broke up. Well, it's a lot more than that, Chad. There are some people who are like, they thrive off of being able to have someone to provide for. And I can relate to that.
Being alone meant deafening silence. It meant reckoning with my own thoughts, fears, and doubts. It meant I had no choice but to face an incredibly hard truth. The last 3 years of my life despite being the most momentous and gratifying for the career start it gave me, also became the years that I lost touch with myself. Constantly trying to please the YouTube algorithm, as well as trying to mold myself to another person in unhealthy ways, turned me into someone that I didn't recognize.
Yeah.
The thoughts finally surfaced. I don't feel like myself. I haven't felt like myself for a while. And then I want to feel like myself again. So I spent the last 5 months working towards that goal.
Yeah, I'll be real. I think I spent the majority of my life always wanting to be something that I just wasn't. And then I think over the past 2 years, I'm gonna be a fucking narcissist here. I like who I am now. I do. I became a person who I think is actually a good dude. I think I'm a person who's not a pathetic piece of shit. And I think working on yourself is like the most important thing that you can possibly do as a human being, right? Because if you wake up and you don't like your own skin, who you are, brother, you need to change. If you wake up in the morning and you don't want to look yourself in the mirror, brother, you need to change. Listen, man, ever since I lost my fucking hair, I knew I had to put on some fucking meat. I knew I had to put on some muscle because bald guys just do not look good if they got no meat. Got myself a chain, got myself some tattoos, midlife crisis, bought myself a Genesis GV80. You know what I'm saying? Get me some fucking meat, pick some shit up, throw it around. It's been good. 2 things that are the most important things to fixing your life: yourself and the room that you live in the most. Make sure that you love your house. Make sure that you love your house. It'll save you so much time in the long run and so much money in the long run, and it'll really ground you whenever you wake up. And happy juice.
A lot happened in those 5 months. I reconnected with old friends. I went out a lot, more than I had in the past 4 years.
Oh, yeah.
I started going to therapy.
Great. Great decision.
Eventually, I started going on dates.
I can confirm that one.
But here's perhaps the biggest one. I moved into my own place. It's my first time living alone. No parents, no roommates, no significant others.
Hell yeah. Good for her.
Well, I have my bunnies, Luna and Theo. They keep me company. But as freeing as it is to have your own space, it's also a huge challenge becoming completely responsible for taking care of yourself.
Just hire maids. It helps.
I didn't like being by myself at first. I couldn't take it. I asked friends to accompany me to most things. Groceries, furniture shopping.
I'll be real, I fucking hate it, but that's just because I'm schizophrenic.
Lunch, dinner, nights out, you name it.
Be a millionaire, hire maids. Brother, it costs on average $240 a month to hire maids. Like, I'm just saying this for this person. Sevi got an extra $240 to throw around to get some fucking maids. She plays fucking Genshin Impact, okay? I'm sure this chick is burning thousands of dollars on gacha games every month.
And bless their hearts, they kept me company. They collect.
That's a lot. Okay, so let me tell you why $240 a month is not a lot to hire maids. So maids are going to clean your house in about 8 hours twice a week, or twice a month. That's 16 hours of work. If you can make more than $240 in 16 hours of work, then it's not a waste of money. It's a great decision. So 16 is around, you would need to make around $13 to $14 an hour. So if you make that, you should be hiring maids to clean your house twice a month. Depends on the house? Absolutely. I'm taking into account probably around like 2,000 square foot house. If it's an apartment, it's even cheaper.
Collectively held my hand and showed me that life after a breakup might not be too lonely.
Good. You know what's better than being in a relationship that sucks ass? Not being in a relationship that sucks ass. Let me tell you, as a guy who I've done 9 relationships in 15 years, I am much happier not being with a person who sucks ass. Yeah, it's is way nicer than being with someone who does suck ass. So, usually breakups are a great thing, but that's just been my experience.
They helped me assemble the basics of my new space. My kitchen table, my curtains, and even my PC setup, even if I didn't use it for 6 weeks straight. My friends did me an incredible favor being around me so much. But once the dust cloud of the initial...
Wait, Brax? What the fuck? Brax spotted? Why is this guy sucking a dick? Brax spotted? What the fuck is this creep doing over here?
Move-in had settled, I knew I couldn't have my hand held for much longer. It was time to face the music of being alone. At first, I found peace in it. Slowly, I built my routine, my pace, my schedule, my days. I found that the mornings were my quiet time. Before I had to get the day started to run errands or do chores, and I learned to manage those by myself too, and even enjoy the process. But life continued happening. Progress definitely wasn't linear.
It's hard.
The weight of the past months, the what and who that had gone from my life, suddenly started getting heavier.
Jesus.
It was like grief was sinking in. I tried to deal with it by throwing myself back into work via streaming.
Step number 1, remove the Al Haytham from your fucking background, bro. Put like some autistic shit back there, like a cinnamon roll. Or like a Karumi from fucking Hello Kitty.
I enjoyed it, especially because I chose to stream whatever I felt like streaming on the day.
Oh yeah.
But it just wasn't the right time yet, and I just ended up stressed and overwhelmed by taking on more responsibilities before I was ready for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had moments of frustration, seething anger.
Holy fuck, it's like a witch from Left 4 Dead 2.
Petulance even, at the state I was in, at what I was going through. I found myself doing things purely for distraction, like doom scrolling or swiping on dating apps, which, in all honesty, also felt like doom scrolling.
Yeah, I just be gooning, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. I just be gooning.
There was one morning where it felt like everything was falling apart, and I had no one there to comfort me.
That's hard.
The frustration and anger had simmered down and cooled into a slow, unbearable sadness that clogged my chest and made my heart feel twice as heavy.
Bro, I fucking been there. If I didn't have Eggy during that time, I would be so fucked. Pets are like so good for like substituting the need for compassion from another being.
All I could do was let it pass.
Yeah. She died.
Eventually it did.
Oh yeah. Okay, I will
Whether
say,
it was time.
picnics fucking suck. All they do is just let bugs on your fucking food. I hate that shit.
People, self-reflection, therapy, or all of the above. I one day felt like I could finally breathe again.
Bro, Sevi, man to woman, get in the fucking gym. Get in the fucking gym and lock the fuck in. That is how you deal with your issues, bro. Sevi, you can look like me. You can look like me. Get to the gym. All right, just lock in. Simply just lock the fuck in. Okay, and then beat the fuck out of all your demons. You too can be bald. You too can go full bald.
And little by little,
Dude, you look so mid. Yeah, that's crazy. Your mother said the opposite. That's what's insane. And by the way, if I look mid, then why do I have Cantarella and you don't? Yeah, explain that, buddy boy. Let's see you, brother.
things started falling back into place. I decided It was time to give myself the vacation I so sorely needed when I started
Good.
the hiatus,
Step number 1, uninstall Genshin Impact.
but hadn't actually been able to take because of everything going on behind the scenes. So,
Hell yeah.
that's what I did in February.
Hell yeah, dude. Look at that.
And slowly, steadily, I felt a version of me emerge that I hadn't encountered in a long time.
Brax saved her life. And as the man who saved Brax's life, to be honest, I saved Sevi's life. What can I say? I really am him. I really am him. It is what it is.
One that was happy, eager, and ready to start fresh, even at the risk of losing it all.
Maybe Genshin isn't the only thing that had an impact on her life.
Now here comes the big question. Maybe the one you've been waiting for me to answer throughout this entire video.
Are you quitting Genshin?
What's next for Sevi Plays?
Oh, okay.
Well, I never wanted to become a guide channel in the first place.
Great.
And I most certainly don't regret becoming one for 3 years.
Great.
But as long as it's been, as much as I've tried, it's just not where my heart is.
Good.
And it's kind of part of what got me in this state in the first place.
True.
So number 1, no more guides.
Good.
I know that this may come as a shock to many of you, with perhaps a variety of reactions alongside that.
Great.
And I will completely understand if that's enough to make you unsubscribe.
That's
After
okay.
all, my guides are probably what you signed up for here anyway.
That's okay.
As convenient as it would be if I could continue making gaming guides while exploring the new stuff, I would just end up half-assing both, and that's just
True.
not going to turn out well.
True.
That doesn't mean I'll stop playing games though. I mean, I still enjoy games and I still enjoy discovering.
What the fuck are you playing? Uninstall that shit immediately. F***ing abort.
And playing them just on my own terms. Not to help others optimize game content, but simply to fall in love with the games that I decide to give my time to. So, if not gaming guides, what then? Well, I could give you my whole pitch for my vision of the next year of content, but what's the fun in that? I just want to tell stories, do life, and share that with you. We'll see what they'll look like as I go along. What matters is falling in love with creating content again.
True.
And for sure, that's a process of trial, error, and growth. I'm not going to be specific yet about what exactly I have planned for the coming year because I just want to let it unfold. But let me be extremely clear. This channel will be entering a new era, and I want it to feel like freedom.
Hell yeah. Good for her. Good for her, man. Great, man.
Change is scary, especially when it comes with a lot of risk. I know that by changing content, I risk losing a lot of you. And if you're one of those people, then I just want to say thank you for supporting the guide era of Sevi Plays. It was an honor
Chat, this could be you if you quit Genshin Impact.
helping you learn how to play your favorite characters. If, however, you're curious enough to stick around, you have no idea how much that means to me. We
Oh,
have
yeah.
a long, unpredictable, exciting road ahead. It's a vastly different road from the one I've been walking on for the past 4 years, but
I hope we can continue journeying on together. The past few
Oh yeah.
months have had some of the worst and best moments of my life so far. I still have a lot of healing to do, but I've reached a point where I feel ready to close the chapter of Sevi Plays and open the chapter of Sevi. I'm more myself than I ever have, and I'm excited to keep growing into this version of me. In fact, this might actually be the first time you're meeting the true me. So, let's start over.
Great. Hell yeah.
Hey everyone, it's Sevi.
Man, quitting Genshin Impact saved her life. Hell yeah, bro. Good for her. That's fucking awesome. No, it's a great video, man. I think that's very relatable.
Being
And I
alone.
wish her the best of luck and everything that she decides to do. You know what Sevi should do? Sevi should come to Austin, man. I'll get her in the gym. I will. I'll get her in the gym. It'll be a great fucking time. It absolutely will.